Are you the one who said, hey, I want to show you something tonight?
Yeah. Do you still have that little picture that I sent you? I snapshotted and sent it to you.
Okay, so let me get out of my VPS. Let me go to my mic. Okay.
I was just kind of puzzled because I was doing a Stairmaster, and I caught it off a resistance, but like as soon as I got in, probably like 5-10 minutes later, a red dot appeared.
Okay, so
my
what
question is, when that happens, do you just wait for the dot to disappear, or do you just wait?
Okay, so yeah, I have this screenshot, but let's pull up the pair. What pair was that?
I don't remember because I'm at work now.
I don't think,
sorry.
It's okay. I don't think I can see the price on it at all. I can't see the price. Let's see.
I guess the question I was trying to get at is, like, when I'm in a Stairmaster, how do I know, or how can I detect when there's like momentum in the market so that I know that it's actually moving? Because sometimes I get in, it'd be the perfect setup. You know, the 15-minute lineup with the 1 hour, everything is over the 50 line, and I get in, but sometimes it'll just sit there, and then everything will just turn around. It'll go from a bullish to a bearish, you know, and it just sit there. So I guess it's something I'm missing.
Well, what time frame are you trading from?
Just anytime, whenever I can get in.
Okay.
I don't have a schedule.
But what about, like, what time frame are you using? Like the 4 hour, the 1 hour?
Well, I usually you know, my rules will be on the 1 hour, long as it's above, you know, if it's below the 50, I'm looking for a sale. If it's above the 50, I'm looking for a buy. And then I go back to the 15-minute to confirm, to see if I got triple arrows and everything is lining up. Boom, I get in. And I kind of walk away. I kind of trying to get from just sitting there watching it, because I know it will go up back and forth, and it'll kind of get you out of it. And I just do like a 1 to 3 risk ratio, so to speak. But sometimes it goes through, but a lot of times it do not. So I'm trying to figure out, do I need to figure out when its momentum is in the market so that it actually be moving? Or, you know, I guess I'm getting in the market sometime and there's no volatility in the market. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a crazy week, though. So a lot of trades, I mean, have went against a lot of people all week. Actually, I just read an article that a lot of retail traders lost over 10 million in a couple of hours on US 30. And that's just on the retail trader side. So there's so many variables, guys. I mean, there's no way to truly know. But if you're taking the trade and you're in the right direction with the trend, okay? So like, let's say you took this trade right here, and that all your confirmations lined up somewhere in this window, right?
Yes.
Okay. It was in your favor, 30 some odd pips. Let's round down. On Euro USD, that's pretty good because this is not a fast mover. And then, of course, what happened? It went against you, right? So it went back 43 pips. So either way, depending on where your stop loss was, you would have got hit, is option A, or option B, you moved your stop loss in the profit, you would have got out with a few pips. But none of these moves are supposed to happen forever.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't know if you know the answer to this. I'm not trying to belittle you, but
no, it's okay.
It seems like every time, which I look at my charts all the time, it's like whenever I look at my charts, like you showing that part right there, I never get to see that on my charts, like right there where your cursor just was. It's like whenever I turn on my charts, it'd be it'll be at the top of that hill and at the bottom of that hill. And I ain't never turned on my charts and it'd be right there in the middle.
Okay, so let's play a game. Ready? Psychology. What time zone are you in?
Central.
Central. So We're on the 1 hour chart. I might butcher this a little bit because you're right. I definitely don't know everything. But I do know
No,
that.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying it just seemed like, I'm thinking like the market, do the market makers, I heard someone say one time that they can show you a different screen from what's really actually happening.
Well, if you're going to believe that, no pun intended, you better not be trading. Like, seriously, not a good idea. Because here's what I want to show you. You see these white lines? This is the different day. So this is 4 p.m. your time, and this is 4 p.m. your time, just so you know. So like if you have a day job or a night job or whatever your schedule is, there's a good chance that you check the chart somewhere in this time frame and somewhere in this time frame. This is kind of London. This middle section here is all London. This is beginning of New York. So this right here, this candle, this 1500 candle is 7 a.m. your time. You would have saw the perfect move. It bounced off the 50. Everything's kind of getting ready to line back up, and you're ready to take this trade. This would be it right here. Okay, there's a good chance you saw this, but you're looking at the chart so often that you don't have a routine. So when you come into your office and your computer, you don't have a routine that says, okay, when I turn on my computer, I'm looking for this strategy first, this strategy second, and if I see the setup, great. If I don't, great. And then you walk away. The problem with staring at your chart all day is you can't see anything anymore. Like, and I've done it too. I'm definitely guilty of it, 1,000% guilty of it. Like you kind of like overanalysis paralysis, as they would call it. You know, that's a psychological term, because you're looking all the time. Now you don't trust your moves anymore. So for instance, when you see something like this, sorry, my Zoom thing is in the way. So when you see something like this, you see an 18 crossover, you see 4 hour support, you see it broke the 50 with momentum and came back up. So let's just pretend like you saw this move. This is approximately, you know, your afternoon time. So let's say you saw this trade in this time frame. You no longer trust it. Now you're looking at this bullish candle thinking, oh no, maybe it's going to reverse and retest. Oh no, what is it going to do? And you're not like trusting your analysis anymore because you're staring at the charts all the time. This right here took days, well, a whole day to play out. But you missed it because you're over analyzing it. Clearly these moves are happening. There's no way around it. They're happening, right?
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of when you come into your office, you should have a clear routine of what you do, period, all the time. So when you come into your office, if you're using the 4 hour chart, you should be trying to come somewhere around the 4 hour time frames where those candles open or close, and that's preferable. So you're kind of seeing exactly what the market's doing, or an hour after, because that kind of, if there's going to make a wick, you'll get the best part of that wick. But so this is the 4 hour chart. You have an entire week to catch this move before this happened. Now it would stink that you got stuck in this, you know, consolidation for a week, and there's no way to know that this would have happened. But if you took this trade when you had the big arrow, little arrow, I think I just deleted the small arrow on accident. So that one's not on this chart anymore. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. If it will let me. Flip and triple arrows. There we go. Okay, so let's pull this back up. What the right arrows if it will come up? Did we get our new arrow back? No, we didn't. Well, that definitely didn't work. Oh well. But either way, there's a good chance that, see, this one does have the triple arrows. You missed this entire, you had a week to find this move before it even happened. But you had to trust it all week long and keep, you know, your bias the same on your analysis, no matter what the market is telling you, and then actively stay in this trade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but well, yeah, yes, it does.
Let's see which one of these it is, because you're definitely seeing these moves, any one of them, and we can make this any way that works best. Lord only knows what template that was now. There's a very slim chance I'll find it. Sorry, guys. It's one of them. It's for sure. But either way, these are all templates that work. When you look at this, that's all you're looking for, is you're looking for confluence. And when you find it, you have to trust it enough to hold it or to go for half of the average daily range. I mean, this is a slow moving pair. So it's not super, super ideal. But either way, you kind of get the idea. The moves are happening, but it's the markets aren't like changing the screen for you not to be able to see the complete move. That's just like conspiracy level stuff that we can't become good traders if we honestly think that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so does that answer your question though?
Yes, it does. I just got to slow down and maybe just look at one or two pairs. Don't just kind of scan the market. I kind of do like how you said you and Pappy does. Just when you sit down at your charts, just kind of scan each pair over one by one and just kind of look at them.
And that's really all you're doing is just you're picking a couple of times a week, especially if you're using the 4-hour chart. I mean, where you're going to look for a couple of moves, and then that's it. It's not too hard. There's not much more to it. It doesn't take a whole bunch of effort or energy in any way. There's a 0% chance I'm going to find that chart again, guys. Sorry. I'll probably have to remake another one, but that's okay. But any of these charts would work similarly, every one of them. This is just a fancy 50, that's all. That one is. I'm a little frustrated that I can't find it now, though. They're all a little different. That's why I don't close my charts. There we go. Oh, Lord, which one was this? But do you see it? So now my triple errors are back up here. If you had waited to the 8 and 18 cross, you wouldn't have had to wait a week for this. But either way, this happened. This legit happened. And then it dropped. And in this case, it's not a fast mover, so it kind of didn't drop a whole bunch. But, I mean, it dropped double the ADR. And if you were just going for the safer move after it broke the 50, if you were just going for half of the ADR, you definitely got your pips. You definitely got your pips. There's no way around that you didn't get your pips. So it's a matter of if you, so you work night shift, is that right, Mike?
Well, I work more from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And that's Central Time?
Yes.
Well, then technically you can catch New York Open, right? So you can trade in that. That's one of the best times to trade. That's my favorite time to trade. I mean, I try to do the London circuit, but I just became a zombie, so that wasn't any good for anybody. The best time to trade for me, because I don't live in London, and I prefer not to be a walking, talking, brainless person. So that early morning kind of New York session is perfect. You're going to catch, so let's go to the 1 hour chart.
Let me ask you this. So as far as New York, would that be looking at any pairs? You just looking at for any setup? Or are you looking at U.S. pairs or GBP pairs or?
Well, like I said, this week I'm not really taking a bunch of.
No, I'm just talking like,
pairs, yeah.
Next week or something. I'm just trying to get.
I really like GBP pairs. I really like GBP pairs.
Yeah, GBP. I like those too.
I like that. I like Euro pairs lately. They've just been trading really smoothly. So check this out. Ready? This is the 1500 candle. Boom. Let's just use this exact template and I'll show you something. 1500 candle is what time your time frame?
1500. What time is that? 3 o'clock? What is that? What time is that?
You guys really got to know your MT4 times. If I could teach you one thing, it would be this. This would be the most beneficial, cost-effective thing I could teach you. Seriously, it's a game changer. And it's not about strategy. It's just about understanding what time you're looking at the market. So here, we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days on this chart marked up, right? At the exact time that I look at the chart. So now I'm going to take off my day breaks, okay? And this is the time I'm actively looking at the chart. This is 6 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. your time.
Okay.
Okay, so if you said, would an hour or so be enough?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see. There. I'm going to use this exact pair because it's the one that's up, and we'll try another one after this. I'll have somebody else pick one. So when I came and checked the charts, what I would have saw, this is a bit of a mess, granted, a little different than how I have my other chart set up, but that's okay. I definitely would want to make sure RSI is lining up. But this having support right here, and it's kind of a flat market, I would put this on my watch list. And if it broke this area, I'd be looking for a sell, right? Because this is playing around. I don't know for sure what this is doing, but I'd either set an alert or I'd kind of check this back. So this right here is the 6 a.m. candle, 7 a.m. your time, and this is what you'd be seeing at 7 a.m. your time if you came in front of your charts. You check for news, and then you're going to want to see, okay, so what is my ADX telling me? It's not super clear, right? MACD, not super clear. Currency strength, not clear. So this one is we can't take a move, right? On this day, we have a clean crossover here, which I adore. Momentum coming up. Looks like a crossover, but you can't quite tell yet. But this, I'd be looking for a buy. Again, this is only at the time I'm actually looking at the charts. Again, you have a lot of confluence telling you can buy. And any one of these moves to go for half the ADR is too easy. Well, this is a fast mover in all fairness, so, but either way, that's 40 pips. From this one, if you got it anywhere on this candle, because I check at the beginning of this, so I'm actually looking at the close of this candle. But either way, you got your pips. And I always use trailing stops, as you guys know. I wouldn't have got in there, but I would have got my pips, right? So let's pick a pair. What's your favorite pair?
I don't have a favorite pair. I just look for certain setups. That's all.
Okay, so pick a pair you like. Give me a pair.
GJ.
Okay, let's use GJ. Same concept. So this is what time your time frame?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What time is it when you see this blue line in your world? So what time is this?
8 a.m.
And 7 a.m.?
You said 7.
Yep. So that's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. your time. And that's a good time for you to check the charts?
Yes.
Okay, so at 7 a.m., you would have seen on this day, no move, right? Because it's not clear. On this day, you would have seen a perfect move, kind of cross over the 8 and 18, break of the 50. You have your support dots, 2 arrows in the same direction as the daily dots, confirmation on the ADX, confirmation on the MACD, and of course your currency confirmation. You could have taken this for, again, let's be conservative. Let's only go for a couple pips. That's it. Could you have got your 50 pips and got out? You could have got way more, but everyone wants to catch this move, and Pat teaches that. But again, the reason why Pat and I are up here is so you guys can learn different things from different people, and we can kind of grow together. So when you saw this move, and this is just one pair when you're clicking through, nothing's really setting up, so you'd skip it. But when you saw this one, right, so this is the actual time you're looking at your chart, and we can do this for anybody who's on the call tonight, anybody at all. So like at this moment, if you, for instance, check the chart at 5 a.m. your time, let's draw a line there and let's see what's all setting up at that time. See if it's a reasonable time to trade at all. But on this day, we had consolidation, 4-hour dots, triple arrows, daily dots. We have our parabolic SARs, 8 and 18 crossover, broke of the 50 with momentum, and it kind of made a flag or a retest, a pullback. So this is looking mighty good. And when we come down, we see momentum is above. We see that the sellers are still in control. We see that we're below the 50 line. We see GBP is definitely weaker than JPY, and we could take it for what, 40, 50 pips, easy? Yeah, that's all we're doing. And you can pick any pair, any of these odd pairs, I mean, any random GBP, JPY, CAD, and see what sets up at the actual time you check the chart. You can use this for scalping, you can use it for whatever. But any one of these moves, if you had enough confirmations, yes, 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 and you wanted to just get 10 pips, or this is below the 50, everything is kind of still saying sell, so you go for 10 pips. This one would have stunk if you were going for 10 pips, but you would have eventually got it. It works on every time.
You're looking at the 1 hour chart?
And this is the 1 hour, yeah.
Okay. I'm looking at it on my phone. I can barely see it, that's all.
It's okay. It's okay, but that's all you're doing. Whatever time that you're checking the chart. So when we can draw little lines on every 1500 candle, which sounds like would be a good time for you to trade from here to the end of time and take a look to see if everything was lining up. If it's still lining up, you can take this for the sell because you're still below the 50. You're still, at this point, we don't have any more dots saying there's resistance. So we could have taken this, I mean, for a small amount of pips, maybe not a whole bunch, depending on where we got in at, but we'd still get our pips out of it. We actually would have got way more eventually, but if we didn't want to hold it, I mean, we definitely would want to get out, so.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still on the call listening, but I'm here cooking. I got some orders I got to cook, so.
All right, you go cook something.
Yeah,
No
I'm going to mute
problem.
myself.
Thank you.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, guys, he had messaged me a screenshot, so whoever else is on the call, welcome. And are there any charts or pairs you guys want to look at? We're kind of coming into a U.S. holiday, so not just that, but Dorian, the 1500 candle on MT4, you have to know that some MT4s are different, so let me use that disclaimer. But in general, the 1500 candle, according to UTC, the Universal Trade Time, is 5 a.m. Pacific, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Jenny.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I just wanted to mention I use an indicator called vertical line, which will put the 1500 bar, put a line at every one going back as far as your charts go back.
Now that's kind of cool. Now that's a tool I would actually probably use.
Yeah.
Does it work? Does it work on the 4 hour? So like when it transfers?
No, you don't see it on the 4 hour. Only, yeah, you don't see it on the 4 hour. I don't exactly know why, but you see it on the 1 hour and all the other lower time frames.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I like it. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Because guys, it will show you. I mean, every one of us sees all these moves, and then we say, oh no, I can't catch it, or this doesn't work for me, and it's just a big mess. So no. But if you actually know like what time you're actively trading, then you can kind of back test this. And what that tool is, if you send that to me, I'll double check it and post it in the group, because again, Tad didn't want a lot of people posting stuff in the group. But
Oh, I can do that, sure.
That's a good tool that I think that everyone would benefit from, because like if you, for instance, are a mom and like you pick up your son at a certain time, or if you're a single guy and you kind of come and go at a certain time, like you can decide what time you're looking at the charts, and then from there say, okay, I know this move sets up enough times. I can get enough moves enough times based off of checking the chart at this time. Because the problem with always checking your chart is it's a mess. And then your eyes just become crazy and you don't see it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that sounds like, oh, I better get a cord. Hold on, guys. Kind of, again, everything's a mess. Hold on, let me get my cord. Okay. Let's see. Boom. Okay. So I'm working off of a laptop, like I said, because everything's boxed up and crazy. Crazy. Okay, so any other question? What's the next question or chart you guys want me to take a look at?
Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Edward, how's it? Wait, Eduardo, right? How's it going?
Pretty good. Can we look at Euro GBP?
Okay, let's see. Euro GBP.
Yeah, I took a loss on this. I was on out of 8 trades. This is my first loss.
Well, that's not bad. Out of that many trades, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
So what time frame were you using?
The 4 hour. I mean, and I could admit I got in at the wrong time. It didn't look too good.
So why did you take the trade?
Well, because I was pretty impatient. I just wanted to take a trade for the day, which is kind of a mistake I took. I took it yesterday, or no, I took it, here, I give you the exact price. I got in at 0.89581. But it was on the other candle. 3 more candles to the left.
Oh, this wick.
Yes, I took it there.
And you were trying to sell it?
Yeah, I was, which was, I mean, that's pretty wrong because it didn't look good at all. But yeah.
And what indicators do you have on your screen?
I have the 50 and the daily dots, or I have the arrows and stuff. I have the 4 hour and daily dots, ADX, RSI, the currency relative strength indicator, and stochastic.
And you use the 4 hour?
Yeah, I did.
So this was still saying buy. This was actually facing up to buy. This was a mess. So like, did you check the 1 hour? Did you check any other time frames or no?
Well, whenever I took this trade, I was kind of in a rush. So I just turned my laptop on, saw this, and just took it and just closed it. And then I came back a couple hours later, and it was in a negative, and I just kept going, and my stop loss got hit. I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm still up for that week.
Okay, so what was your stop loss at?
It was like, how could I word it? Go like 4 candles to the right. It was around there. It was at the ADR, basically. So I was going for the ADR. It's 45.45.
So this was the candle. Let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. Like nothing was saying this was ready for a sell.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing at all. And even on the 1 hour time frame, I mean, this is pointing up. We actually have this is definitely, I mean, you could probably mistaken this as a crossover because it kind of like tickled a little bit here. But either way, so you didn't check the 1 hour at all?
No, I didn't. Do you think I should?
I'm 50-50 on that. There's a lot of people who have a lot of success only looking at the 4 hour, but they have to have the patience to manage this kind of a problem, though. This much of a problem. And that's a lot of a problem. So I don't know, I'm 50-50 because something similar to what you're doing with the daily dots, right? So you were saying you're waiting for the second daily dot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. On the 4 hour time, on the 1 day time frame, right?
Yeah, and I got in early on this one too. Like I was saying, it wasn't much of a good entry.
Let's see. Well, this was saying, yeah, this immediately went to a buy anyways.
Yeah.
So this would have had 1 dot and you never waited for the second one, right?
Yeah, because I was in a rush, like I said, and I knew I was going to be on my laptop for a while.
Well, that should teach you, like, sorry, but it should. Because
No,
at any time frame, if you're trading off the daily, you either have to have a decent size account, right?
Right.
To be able to withstand it. And even if you almost ignore everything else. So here, this is not a fun pair to trade, but let's do it together anyways. Chart window. So this is a naked chart, right? So let's make this go away. Let's go to, bear with me. We want the SuperEZ SR, right? If I can find it. There it is. So even if we took everything else, every other bit of noise off of our chart, like everything all together, these colors are green and make them green and purple. Is that you breathing?
No, that's not me.
Oh, I'm like, what is that sound? Somebody dying?
I hear it also. It's not me.
Okay, it's okay. I don't mind it too much. I just wonder sometimes because I think people are crazy. So those are the 4 hours.
Jason from Halloween.
I know, right? But as long as it's not just me. It is kind of spooky. But I'll take that over snoring, I'll be honest. Like, to the guy who was snoring, it's so not cool.
Or the yawning.
Or yawning. Oh, yeah, it was yawning in all fairness.
It was yawning.
Yeah, it was. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. So I'll kind of take that with a grain of salt. So check this out. Nothing else on the chart, right? Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. If we looked at this chart on the full, and we're on the 1 hour, we could take these based off of 2 dots for a buy because this is trending up, right?
Right.
So we could literally just make a chart, see that it's going up. And when we see this move, and we can draw a vertical line to Mr. Halloween there, whatever's going on with the phone, there's no way I would have been up to catch this move. It just wasn't going to happen. But either way, to give you an idea, when we see these dots, and this is 4-hour dots, so this is technically 2 4-hour dots is what you have right here. You can take this trade. This is an uptrend. Take it for half of the ADR. When you see these, you can take it for half of the ADR. And you can do this over and over again, okay, on any time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, it's going to be a bit better, and I like it better. But if you're on the day one, you got to know that you know. There's no room for being wrong because the stop loss has to be too big. But it's the same concept. So if you're only going in the same direction, like, so imagine the arrows aren't here because clearly they're not, right?
Yeah.
You're only going in the same direction as the daily dots, only ever. So you'd be looking for a sell, you take it. The daily dots are saying buy, you only take the buys. Don't take any sells until you get another thing that says sell, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Same, yeah, that's it. That's great. I mean, you can make this super simple, and then from there you can add in like the ADX, which as you guys know I love. You guys
Yeah, I use it also. I like it.
RSI. You can pick whatever ones your eyes see better, and then use that on the same exact concept, and it will work exponentially well. I don't know why that's so thick. That's crazy. But that's all you'd be doing in the same direction as the daily dots, and it takes out all the confusion. Because the thing about the daily dots is it's going to always be with the trend for the most part. This one's kind of counter trend, I would say. That's kind of counter trend, but this is a what do you call it? This pair doesn't trend well anyways. So yeah, this doesn't trend well. But let's pick a different pair. Eduardo. Any pair.
You can pick any other pair. Here, I took Swift JPY. I took that pair yesterday, and my take profit got hit. I was doing a sell.
I sold this for. I didn't hold it. I should have held it, but I didn't hold it.
Yeah, I didn't hold it either because as soon as I hit my take profit, I was out.
Yeah, everyone wants to hold it, and then we think, oh my gosh, why didn't I hold it? But it's okay. So you sold it based off of, you had 2 daily dots, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Boom.
Like if you go back to the 4-hour, I'll show you exactly where I got in, and it hit my take profit pretty easily. The same day, so that's pretty surprisingly.
What was your take profit on this?
I think it was like 30 pips, I think 35 pips, something like that.
So again, same concept, guys. When you click through the daily, you'd be looking for 1 dot. When you get your 1 dot, write it down for your checklist for the next day, go for 2. So this would have been 6 yellow dots would have been day 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here's where you got in?
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go.
I was doing a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And that's what I always do. Or if I can do less, I'll do, like if it's better, I'll do better. But I always,
and that's perfect.
Yeah, I don't do nothing less than a 1-to-1.
And you use the confirmations to line up the ADX, the RSI, yeah?
Oh yeah, I mean this pair looked really good, so I'll take it.
Oh, I know how this one looked yesterday. This one was a good pair. We got another chat. Because any of this stuff works, it's just a matter of having a good risk to reward ratio. This works beautifully, perfectly. And you're only going with the trend, 4-hour chart. But that means every one of these dots, you have a lot of opportunities to kind of see one. And skip these, not to say you can't make money with this, because you can, but let's skip the risky ones. Let's only take the ones in the direction of the trend. So sure, we would miss this move, okay, this first part, because it's against the kind of upward trend, unless it starts to break the trend line, and then you can consider it. But this is all way, way too easy if we just keep it easy. So you're doing really good, though. Your accuracy is good.
Yeah, it's gotten way, way better now.
Then that's awesome. That's what discipline does. So Dorian, okay, Backspace, I believe, I don't know your name, person, but Backspace, the daily dots are located, it's basically the same thing as the SuperEZ dots, but we just changed the time frame. And Dorian, the daily dot before the candle. No, the daily dot's not going to show before the candle. So that the cool thing about like the daily dots or the 4-hour dots is it's going to kind of come up at the same time. Okay, so like every one of these are going to happen. In my case, 3 p.m.s was 3, 7, or 11 a.m. or p.m. 3, 7, or 11. And in your case, like if you're Central Time or sorry Eastern Time, it would be what 5, 9, and 1. 5, 9, and 1. And that's the times that you're going to get these dots that appear. For the daily, this is at 5 p.m. You don't get a dot until 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And you'll get a new dot or no dot, and you'll kind of know what the market's doing. We never trust one dot ever. Well, at least not if you're asking me. There are other better, cooler things to do. But for me, I don't trust one dot. I want to see 2. Because that means by the time this first one closes, then it's the odds of it disappearing are much slimmer. Not to say it can't happen, but it doesn't disappear once this candle closes. So like that next dot, I would get it at the open of that, not the close, the open of it. So this, all I need to do is see that dot at that time. And then I can take it for half of the average daily range and be right an insanely amount of the time. Even just looking at this, not a fast mover, super easy to do. Very, very easy to do. I hope that answers your question. I'm going to mute everybody, and then whoever wants to talk can unmute. Mute all. Yes. Okay, because Dark Vader is breathing again or something. Or maybe it's like the headset rubbing against the mustache. Guys, I don't know what that is, but it definitely could be like a Jason Voorhees moment. I don't know.
Like the Dark Vader.
Oliver? Huh?
I like the Dark Vader.
Oh, there you go. It is Dark Vader or something. Okay, so question, where can I find the currency indicator? That is in the marketplace. I showed which one it is. It's a blue box with colored writing on it. It's currency relative strength, and it is free. So yes, please take a look at that. One of the better ones, and I have a lot. I have paid for ones and free ones, and I like that one the best. I think Austin, yeah, right? These people are like breathing or something. I have no idea. But then again, I'm not a girl, so I'm not a guy, so I don't have all those messages.
I'm literally laughing so hard.
I know, right? Something's going on. Something. I tell you. All right,
I think
guys.
they don't know that they were like next to their mic or something.
Okay, but what I realize is like guys don't know like that their mustache and all that like facial hair is like rubbing up on the mic from like the Apple. So it's like this sound. It's so bad. So bad. I can't even. Sorry, guys. But it's okay. So if you have a mustache, just be mindful of your, earbuds when you're using them, guys. Because as a girl, I can tell you it's a real thing. For real, it's a thing. And other people on this call can tell you it's a thing. Somebody's like rubbing up on something right now. Tell you what. Or we really have a Dark Vader going on. The super easy values you just added to the previous chart. Let's take a look. Jaleesa Ball. Let's see. I love your name. It's so unique. So if I right click on my chart, let's go to indicators. This is a pretty naked chart in general. I love my 50, so I'm going to leave that there. My first one I added, my favorite, obviously we have to click allow to DLL imports, can't talk. We're keeping all this the same. These are the settings. This is based off of how many, the back step, the deviation, and how it determines like where they go. So don't mess with that. It's not productive, it's just a waste. So one of them set at 4 hours, and I love my colors. And then the next one, we're gonna have it set at the daily edit. I have it set at yellow and day 1. Again, leave that all the same. And I don't want an alert because I get too many alerts. No, well, actually, I might want an alert for that daily one. But no, I don't want an alert because you'd have to have it open on each chart, and that's just a mess. So I don't want an alert because technically you would always have a daily dot. What we don't understand is every one of these candles technically has a dot, but we can't see that in hindsight. So there's no place that there is no dot. So right here is where the sell dots end. This is on the daily time frame. Right here is where they begin. Again, this is the last buy dot. This is where the sell dot ends. So technically there is always directional information just using the daily dots. Just that alone. It's always there. It's never not there. You can't see it like this. I think that was like an aha moment for me, but maybe I'm just really simple because I was thinking, okay, so what are the next dots, acting like there's no other dots, but technically the next dot is a sell, and that's right there. As soon as this one ends, new one comes. So that's kind of interesting to me. I like the way that they're programmed personally. So, all right, guys, next question or chart. Anybody at all? Maybe not Dark Vader. I know somebody wanted to look at some charts or ask about something.
Hi, Jenny.
Go ahead. Hey, Connie, how are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. A little bit excited, nervous, you know, all that stuff. But go ahead. What's your question?
Okay, my question is on this chart that we're looking at. I want to see if I really understand it. On the chart, JPY, this is the daily. So these two dots are already there, the daily dots on this chart right now. And then we go down to the 4 hour.
But what else is on this daily dot? Well, so tell me what else you see.
On the daily dot, I see the two dots, and then I see a support. I see two resistance dots, and then I also see a support dot.
So we see one. So like if tomorrow we have a new one that says buy, we would take this for a buy. There's a good chance this will push through, but again, it's NFP week, so we don't know what's going to happen. JPY pushed up really strong last night against all charts and against all reason. So, I mean, it's anyone's best guess because, again, U.S. markets are closed. A lot of international trading is closed. A lot is closed. And then, of course, Friday is NFP. So, but what we want to see, like according to this strategy, is we have now officially one dot. We would wait till we have a second dot. And so tomorrow open, so tomorrow at what time zone are you in?
Central.
Central, so tomorrow at 4 p.m., you would check to see if you have a dot. If you have a second dot and your oscillators line up, so you need to have more than one if you're asking me, you want to have enough pieces of the puzzle telling you a story, and from there you could take the trade.
Okay, let's go back here. Let's say after I saw the two dots, I mean without this green dot, I would have gone to the 4 hour and I would have looked at the 4 hour to see if I have 4 dots, right?
Well, you definitely have 4 hour dots. So like we were just showing with what Eduardo did. So he checked this yesterday, yesterday at his time market open, and that means at the very second this candle happened, okay? Keep in mind, this made a big move without us, and that's okay because we wanted it to break the trend. We wanted enough of a story to tell us this was selling. So when he went down to the 4 hour, this is what we saw. We know that each yellow dot on the 4 hour chart is it'll be 6 yellow dots to make one day. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this would be the close of the first day. He would have clicked on the chart right here. I should have made that easy on myself so I didn't have to count twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he would have looked at the chart right here.
Right.
Again, I can't, well, he told us what indicators he was using, but even with the pretty naked chart, here's what I see. Nothing else to go off of. We were in an uptrend. Very simple. We broke that trend. We broke the 50, retested it. ADX is saying strong sell. So I'm very confident we can take it even from here. Granted, keep in mind, hindsight's 2020. We don't know this is going to happen. So try as you might, try your best to imagine you can't see any of this. But when he took this trade, he set it for half of the ADR, 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and he closed out in profit. That's all it took. So he checked the chart once a day, and he took it. He also admitted that he's only lost one trade with this system, and that was because he was kind of getting antsy looking for a trade because he wasn't finding one. We all do it. I'm guilty. I think everyone's guilty. But that's
Yep,
it.
just did it.
In this scenario, where would he have placed his stop? Because it looks like a large distance from the previous step.
So what I would teach any of my clients is 1-to-1 or better. We don't take trades that have a less than 1-to-1, I mean, ever. But Eduardo, where did you put your stop loss when you entered?
Just if I'm going for 30 pips take profit, my stop loss is at 30 pips. I'm only doing a 1-to-1.
So that means if he entered, I just messed that up, guys, I'm sorry. But so if this was his entry, give or take, his stop loss would be exactly 30 pips, wherever that's at. And his take profit is exactly 30 pips, which means, I mean, especially when you have decent analysis, you're going to be profitable. You're going to stop losing. Not to say you're not going to have losing trades, but the losing trades aren't going to wipe out your account. They're not going to wipe out your winners. 1-to-1 is just a really good, safe trading method. So, hey, man, I'm on a call. Sorry, that's my youngest coming to grab his tablet from the office. Here you go. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I guess he's trying to grab my tablet from the office. So his is dead. Go figure. It's charging. But okay, so that does that answer your question? Like that's all we're doing. We're keeping it very simple. In this case, hey Eduardo, was your stop loss above the 50 or no? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think so. I think it was a little bit below. I'm not sure.
But he's keeping it simple rules is the point. Is you're going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If that doesn't, and I can't say for sure what he's doing, but I can say like in terms of what I would do is you're looking for kind of structure anywhere kind of price stalled out right here a bit. So if it were me and I got in somewhere around there, I know that if price breaks this point, the trade's no longer valid anyways. We're no longer looking for sells, we're looking for buys. So keeping a 1-to-1 ratio isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, that's one of the ways I trade. It keeps me safe, it keeps me grounded, and it keeps me profitable. So, and that's what's important is profitable.
Okay, I think what was confusing me was always when I see the opposing dot show up, and that just confuses me. You know, like at the beginning, you see the 2 dots, and then you see another support dot. And,
yes.
Okay, where is it going? Is it still going this way, or is it going this way now?
In my personal opinion, I don't care about a dot until the candle closes. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
So that means this first dot doesn't count until this closes and he sees the second one. Because technically this one can disappear. So there theoretically could have been one here. We don't know what we don't know. But it's the same thing. We can have 5 daily yellow dots that look really appealing. And then the 6th one doesn't happen because price busts through it. Like, so that's how these dots are programmed. It's not about repainting. It's just not different than support and resistance. So if we drew support and resistance on this chart, we would look for kind of peaks, or areas where price stalled here, 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 right? So that would be support and resistance. It broke through that. This isn't like a forever line. It just means like we're looking for what's going to happen in the zone. So of course we knew price came back and retested the zone perfectly. Came back up. It's the same concept across the board. So you'll notice that a lot of times price kind of stalls out in similar spots. That's why these are like called monthly, weekly, daily, hourly support and resistance areas. And these dots simply give you a good picture of what that looks like. That's all they're doing. They're giving you the current direction.
Okay.
So, but again, it's confusing sometimes, but if you stick with the daily dots, that means you need 6 of them on the 4-hour for it to even count. If you don't have 6 on the 4-hour, it doesn't count yet, right? It would actually be the 7th dot. That's how you know it counts. And then on the 4-hour, you need at least 1 dot, and then the second one counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you'd be doing, keeping it super simple.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, next question. Let's go back to the triple arrow chart here. Next chart you guys want to look at our question. There's not a lot of trades we should be looking at. The market's doing all kinds of crazy things. There's just no way around that at all. So none whatsoever. Hey.
Do you think GBP NZD is gonna be a buy soon. I mean, not taking this week, but I think it might be a good setup next week to take based off the 4 hour.
Let's take a look. Let's see. Everybody wants it to be a buy, but it's still pushing down. So
No,
no, wait,
been
we're
dropping for so like since last week, I think.
I don't want
It's
to hear
dropped
about dropping
hard.
unless we're going to talk about GJ, because GJ just dropped and then it never turned around ever. It decided that it was never going back.
That's your favorite pair.
Uh-huh. No idea. None. But okay, so we're on the 4 hour right now. We have one arrow. Okay. Let's see.
Like 2 dots right now, but that candle still isn't closed.
So we have 2 dots. But see, this is an impulse move. When the candles are still big going down, we would want to see something like this where the candles are getting really small. Really small. Here, let me pull up a better example. So let's zoom out. Let's go over. Let's find a good example. When price, there might not be one because GN is a fast mover. There just might not be a good example. This is an impulse move. Candles got real small, huge wick. I'm guessing that's news. So this isn't a great example to show you the small candles. But either way, right now we still have a lot of big bodied candles. And this is off the 4 hour. This is just basic kind of trading. We have another cross that says this is going down on the MACD. And that's something. That's definitely something. RSI kind of came up a little bit, but again, this is pointing down even on the 4 hour. Let's see.
Well, I definitely want to take it this week, but I guess just look out for next week maybe.
Yeah, you want it to be fully confirmed. Or, again, keep it super simple. Our indicators, treat it like a signal service, okay? Our indicators tell us something's happening, but we can make this super practical and super easy. Right now we're going down. When it breaks this area, let's talk about it going up.
Okay.
And that's like as simple as you can keep it. And we can make a bigger trend line, longer term trend line, shorter term trend lines. Same concept with the hour. When it breaks this, let's talk. But until it breaks that, we're still looking for sells. So if it breaks these dots, you're only looking for sells, okay? And because it's still going down. And if not, if it comes down here and forms that W or that double bottom, then okay, we can start looking for buys. But until then, we're just looking for, well, yeah, see, NZD is still getting stronger. GBP is again turning around because it's just stubborn as all can be. It does not want to go up, you guys, at all. I don't know why. It's just stubborn and mean. But here we go again with another impulse candle. So to go get a couple pips out of this, probably pretty practical. Let's see. Yep, because even on our ADX, sell is pointing up. We have this big momentum thing coming, and that kind of justified this move. Momentum's going down.
Yeah, it looks like it's basically been dropping since May 7th.
Hey, that's about when GJ decided to gap and then never come back around. Sounds about right. No, I think that was June. Shoot, I don't know. I'm over that. Let me tell you, I'm totally over it. But yeah, I would just wait for your confirmations. I mean, what indicators are on your chart? And if we keep it that simple, okay, you don't necessarily need all of them. Like, so right here, we don't have a big arrow per se. That one's back here. But we have our 2 little arrows in the same direction as the big arrow. 8 and 18 cross, broke the 50. ADX looks good. MACD looks good and then broke the 0. I love how this kind of broke the 50 and then even retested. Now we've got a confirmed move of what this is doing. Like, so everything is telling us. We have our ADX kind of came back and touched and rejected. So this right here, if I saw this, I'd be like, oh yeah, because we know that this is going to sell. We know it's going to sell. I mean, do you want to get all those pips? That's great for the swing traders in here. And if not, if you were just going for half the ADR, you've got a really good trade right there, and you keep it a 1-to-1 or better ratio, and there you go.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. But just wait for that to happen. Right now, I don't like how this is really choppy. And then again, we just formed an official lower low.
Yeah.
So that's what I see.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, next question, guys. Let's see. Let's take a look. USD pairs are just doing some crazy stuff right now. Where's my UCAN? I read an article about how US 30 blew millions and millions of dollars today. Millions. And gold too, everyone's looking to sell gold, but this is NFP week, so gold can do whatever it wants. And I decided a long time ago I don't play with gold anytime there's a NFP because it just doesn't play nice at all. All right, guys, next question chart. You are welcome. DJ, come on out. I know when Pat's call, you guys raise his hands, but I have a different recording system. So, DJ, can you talk? I'm gonna unmute you. Unmute you. There you go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, there you are.
Hey, sorry if it's too loud. Like, it's a lot of people around me now, fireworks. But I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say I really appreciate everything you're doing on these classes. It's helped me a lot this week. Went back and really drilled down on my rules. And so far, every day, I've been increasing my account by 40%. And it's just been crazy. So just thank you again.
Wow, well, thank you for sharing that. 40%, that's 40% a day. That's stinking awesome. What strategy are you following? What rules are you following? Can you still talk? I know it's a little loud where you are. Can you? Peekaboo. Caroline, you said that, oh, go ahead, DJ, you're there?
Sorry, did you hear me?
Now you're unmuted. What strategy were you using and what confirmations did you use? What were your rules? Because I'm sure they're going to all ask.
Well, I don't have my rules right in front of me, but I use a lot. I use the 4-hour dots, the triple arrow system. I also use the 50 EMA, the RSI, the cross of the 50, the MACD, the cross of the 50, and the stochastic with the Irvin settings. I just use the signal, actually the main line, and I use that as a cross of the 50 as the entry too. And every time I make sure it's confirmed from the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and the 30 minutes, it's been very, very accurate.
That's awesome. So you guys just caught that from him. When you guys create rules and whatever ones you have on your chart, he's using something pretty comparable. I think those are Pat settings for the RSI, sorry, the stochastic, but you're just looking for confirmations. And when you get enough of them, I mean, it's going to be fire. That's all it's going to take. So if it's all in the same direction on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the 30 minute, you take it for enough pips because you're being patient. Like Eduardo, who's only taken a handful of trades in the last few weeks, notice how his accuracy, I guess, now would be, he's won 8, lost 1.
I've won 9, lost 1, and I'm growing 30% per trade.
So 30% per trade. That's awesome. Way to go.
Oh, thank you.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what I would be doing, man. Okay, so that's literally 90% accuracy, and the one trade he took, he kind of admits as a skilled trader. And this guy, I'm going to kind of call you out. He is not 30. He does not have a bunch of experience in life. Like, he's just following a ton of rules. I'm so proud of him. So he's doing super well. Sorry, I got to call you out a little bit.
No, it's fine. Those 10 trades, I took them since like Wednesday till this week, so like a week.
So that's, how much percentage is that? That's almost 400%?
Something like that.
Give or take. I mean, this is public math, so bear with me, but I mean, that's 400% give or take in a week, 90% accuracy. Yeah, there you go. GCAD, let's see. Catherine is calling GCAD as a buy. Let's take a look together. Catherine, can you talk where you're at? Let's see. So we're on the 1 hour. I love this. I love this. I'd really want this to cross over. GPP is right next to CAD on my currency strength. Let's drop some fractals on here just because I'm curious. Boom. Let's see. When it breaks this fractal level, I'd buy it. Right here. So it's not quite there yet. But I mean, it looks really good for a buy. I'd want a little bit more confirmation, because I mean, there's a good chance this would be a nice scalp, but for like a confirmed GBP is going up, as we were just talking about, GBP is kind of, it's just playing with everyone's emotions. It's been going down pretty much for like 2 months now. I think it's 6 weeks to be more accurate. So like to catch some of the pips on the up move, definitely. I like this one, Catherine. I do. I like it, but I would probably only scalp it, or I'd move my stop into profit for sure. Let's see. That's awesome, DJ. I'm doing 30% per trade. Good job. GCAD, I'm already up 20 pips. Okay. So Catherine's already up 20 pips on GBP CAD right now. So she got in probably a very, very, what time frame did you use, Catherine? Let's see. Because you must have caught the actual bottom, like literally the bottom. Let's take a look. Odds are you caught the bottom. Yeah, the exact bottom. And everybody wants a 4 hour right at the bottom. Well, that's a perfect entry. It's hard to duplicate that entry though, because a lot of times you're going to catch that entry like right here, and it's going to come up a bit and go down. So I quit trying to time tops a long time ago, although I see all the people who post these screenshots with perfectly timed entries and it looks really good. I've just blown enough accounts to know that I can't do that consistently. So, but in general, this looks good. I'd want to see preferably a much cleaner kind of break and some volume in terms of the currency strength. I'd want to see my RSI above the 50, because that's, again, that's confirmed. Right now you've got the pullback, which 20 pips, you can become a millionaire off 20 pips. So there's, if that's the way your eyes see the charts, you're obviously doing well. So as long as you're following your rules, that's fantastic. For me, I'd want to see what it kind of does around this area. And then again, this would be the riskier entry. This would be the 8 and 18 crossover entry, break of the fractal. By then, we probably would have broke the 50 on the RSI. Get a nice crossover here, which I adore. But that's kind of what I'm seeing in the market. Let me see what you're saying. Looks like you had a flip-flop trigger on the 15-minute. Yeah, I could see this as a flip-flop. Well, obviously, it already went to its 15. It already went its 10 pips, though. That's the thing. But like I was teaching, I don't know who I was teaching it, for the flip-flop method, if it breaks another fractal, you can go for another 10 pips, especially if you're using a lower spread broker like Hugo's Way. My favorite broker, they've just been a blessing to work with. Seriously, they've reversed charges. They've sped up their withdrawals. Like, I really love them. So, and any of my affiliates on there, like once you trade a certain amount of lots, then now because I have enough referrals, I can do like 1% cash back or something for every trade that you guys take, which is kind of cool. But you have to trade like so many lots for that to kick in, and that's and like we can do that, and that's awesome. I just found that out today actually. So you would get 1% cash back for every trade once you trade 10 standards or something. It's kind of cool. So, but on a good broker, you could have got 10 pips easy. And if it really clears this 50, because right now it's kind of bouncing off the 50, I don't like how it's wicking. If it breaks this, yeah, that would look good. I like it on the 15-minute chart for the flip-flop. That would be good on the flip-flop. But in terms of like the triple arrow system, not yet confirmed. No, Doug, that's with Hugo's Way. So I guess you have to have at least 10 or 20 referrals. And then once you do, like, then you get different affiliate bonuses. And what I can do for anybody who's an affiliate is I can actually activate. So I just have to go to your name in the back office, click on you. And as long as you've traded enough standard lots, it's only like 10, I can say, okay, I activate cash back for you. So now from now on, every amount you trade, you'll also get a percentage of that affiliate bonus. So you'll get like 1% or whatever percent cash back. And then as you continue to trade a lot of lots, I think the next level up is 100 standard lots. Again, it's pretty new, so don't quote me if I'm wrong. But then once you trade 100 standard lots, I can bump you up to like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5% cash back. So now you're earning money on winning and losing trades no matter what. So it's actually pretty cool. Yeah. The only problems I've had with Hugo's Way is the platform with some of the indicators. Other than that, I've never had a broker who kind of actively seeks how do I say, actively seeks making things right. So like I had an EA on the chart that made some stuff go wonky, so it closed some trades inaccurately. I assumed it was the broker, turned out to be the EA, but either way, they reversed the losses and they reversed the charges, and that happened. Like they've just been really good to work with lately. I've really liked it. And of course they have cryptos, and everyone knows cryptos is going up, so, and I can deposit and withdraw straight to my bank through Zelle. And that's pretty awesome. So, but for my high leverage broker, I definitely say AFX. That's the best. There's another one that has higher leverage, but it's doing its thing. Right now I tested them out and they have so many bad reviews, and they just weren't withdrawing. So I put a decent chunk of money in there to see how fast it would withdraw. And it took me 12 days and like a multiple amount of emails. I was like, yeah, not my friend anymore. I'm not interested. Doug, yeah, CoinEx works good. CoinEx has great spreads, and that's kind of their values. They just have great spreads. Kind of slow withdrawal, but well, slow compared to the other two brokers I use, but they have great spreads, and their customer service kind of sucks, at least when I try to deal with them. But they're a great spread broker, 500-to-1 leverage, easy withdrawal and deposit with Bitcoin, and it's pretty seamless. No drama, no problems. So, yes, sir. All right, guys, any other charts, pairs, or anything? We can kind of keep an eye on this one for the moment being. Let's see, GBP's up here. Let's check the 1 hour chart. So NZ USD CAD, of course, is not doing anything now. CAD is dropping. I can't even see it on this broker. That's not nice. Let's take a look at a pair that's moving. That's not USD, so like NZD CAD is moving. And it broke. It's still going up. So even according to the flip-flop strategy, you could get in here or here and get your 10 pips. Let's take a look. Awesome, Doug. Yeah, I mean, they're a good broker in general. I like them. I've used them for a long time. I used them when they were still FinPro, and they have the best spreads as far as I know, except for zero spread accounts, which we know the fees are way too high on that. I mean, they have the best spreads of any broker I've dealt with at all that still don't have like 50-to-1 leverage, because 50-to-1 leverage is a joke. It's not even hardly worth trading at all. So take a look. Any other questions, comments, or charts you guys want to look at? Let's see. Anybody at all? What are you guys doing for the 4th? This looks like it might be trying to break that support level.
I'm relaxing and studying.
Relaxing and studying, huh? Are you going to study the charts?
Well, I'm new to the SuperEZ system, and so I want to study that and study flip-flop.
Okay, gotcha. Well, since you're on a live call with me, we can kind of go over the flip-flop, which is all we're looking for is like the 8 and 18 cross. This is one entry. When you have enough confirmations, you want the RSI, MACD. You can use that or Stochastic and ADX for sure. And you're taking it for 10 pips. Preferably, you want it to be in the same direction as the trend on the 4 hour, or at least in the same direction as these dots. So if you have sell dots, only take the sell signals. If you have buy dots, only take the buy signals. And you'll get your 10 pips. Most of the time, you'll get your 10 pips. And anytime you're in profit by a couple pips, always move your stop loss up. Always, always, always. Darth Vader is back on the line, you guys.
Hey, Darth, pull that mic out of your Adam's apple, will ya?
I know, right? Something. Hold on, let me mute everybody.
Luke.
I am your father. I went to this minor league baseball game, and it was like a Star Wars themed night. So, like, everyone had on the cool outfits and little like robots running around. It was awesome. It was. So I'm kind of surprised. Hold on, let me mute everyone. Manage participants. And then if that's you with the mustache, like seriously, huh? DJ, did you get your, oh yeah, you're working or you're in a loud spot. But I got your hand already, I think. Lower your hand, got it. All right guys, but yeah, let's take a look one more time at GBP CAD because I'm kind of curious myself. GBP is going up. I'm very curious as to what this is gonna do. Boom. I guess it's kind of a waiting game. So there's only 45 seconds left on this candle. We'll kind of wait to see what happens at the close of this candle. And I mean, I think there's a good chance we can get our 10 pips. Just going for 10 pips. And again, I know people who are insanely wealthy off of 10 pips. Some people go for one trade a week, 10 pips, that's it. That's how picky and patient and selective they are. But they also almost never lose. So when you have a big enough account, I'm talking, 6 figures, you're getting a $40,000 a week paycheck off of one trade. And you kind of treat this like a hobby. You're just checking the charts every now and then. That's kind of awesome. Kind of very, very awesome. So I like how this is setting up. I don't really know for sure, but let's wait till this candle closes. Yeah, 15. So we just opened a new 15-minute candle. Let's see what color this is going to turn. Looks like it's green for the moment being. I'm going to go to the chat. GBP USD looks good on the 1 hour. Let's take a look real quick. It's turning purple. You know that the US government's closed and there's NFP on Friday, so be very, very mindful of USD pairs. Very mindful. So we got a wick to the upside. Kind of the same story. This would have been a great flip-flop if you were watching it on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look. So USD is really weak. I don't like the wick to the top though. I like how it broke this fractal level. And could you get your pips out of this? Even if it only went to the 50, yeah. But for this one, seeing it already broke this level. So it already broke this current level. Already went, it's 10 pips, well not quite yet. I'd want to wait for further confirmation. So our RSI is good. But I don't trade USD pairs on NFP week. That's a rule that I created and I'm sticking with it. So Phyllis, I made a video about compounding. The truth is, everyone asks me that. I probably get 10 messages a day about what lot size you should use. And the reality is no one should answer that. And the reason why is because they don't know what your leverage is. They don't know what your account balance is. They don't know what pair you're trading. There's so many variables. So across the board, the rule of thumb is a 0.01 for every $100 and you could be in a couple pairs at a time. Across the board, it's one standard for every $1,000 on a 500 to 1 account leverage. But having said that, some pairs are worth $6 a pip. Some pairs are worth $13 a pip. So those pairs you would trade a different lot size. So the best advice and the best way to answer that question is, yes, you can use the compounding sheet, but familiarize yourself with a pip calculator such as my FX book, STENU, STNU. Those are both apps you can put on your phone. You can type in the pair, the account size, the amount you're willing to risk, your stop loss, and then from there you get an idea of what you're risking per trade. So on those compounding sheets, a lot of them are very high risk, which most of us, if we're not living in a third world country, we can afford to blow $100. Like the whole concept of that is you're taking a very small amount of money and you're compounding it extremely, extremely fast. So you can only be in 1 to 2 trades at a time if you're doing like 15 to 20% or more. You can't be in like 3 to 5 or 6, 7, 8 trades at all. But your account, in theory, 500 to 1 with $200-300, you can hold at least a 0.5, maybe even a couple 0.5s on a $300 account, 2 maybe. So about a standard on a 500 to 1 leverage. Again, that's very variable because every pair has a different value. Every pair has a different stop loss, a different spread, and they have different swap fees. So when you kind of put all that information together, I mean, that's a really loaded question that you have to really learn to answer on your own. and get familiar with what you're comfortable with, and then from there we can kind of decide. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see, I like GBP CAD better than GBP USD. Yeah, the lot size does get bigger. It's supposed to get bigger, because if it's not, all you're doing is playing with money. So if you're 3 years into trading and you're still playing with 0.01s and 0.05s and 0.3 and 0.7, and you've never actually compounded an account, then you're probably better off just putting your money into like an IRA and letting it grow, because all you're doing is playing. That's it. You're not actually compounding and growing your money. The whole concept to trading is either you're going to do this to replace your income, you're going to do it to pay off debt, but in theory, there should be like a purpose behind it, right? So you should be growing every week, even if it's a moderate to mild percentage, something like 5 to 10% a week. You're still doing better than most savings accounts and IRAs and retirement funds. But in theory, as your account gets bigger, your lot size should be getting bigger too. And if it's not, you're not using the leveraged money the right way at all. So, Dorian, the currency strength. So let me show you guys again on tonight's call. I like GCAD. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to go to market. This is which one it is. It's currency relative strength. You have to type it in exactly like that. It is a free indicator. It's a blue box with colored letters. Matthew, if you're still on, I know you messaged me in Telegram asking for a picture. I'll make this really big for you guys. I'll put it right here. Let's click on it if it will let me. Maybe, maybe not. Whoops, sorry, I clicked too many times now. Okay, so this is what the image looks like. The value above 60 means strong, the value below 40 means weak. That's all you're looking for. It's, oh, now it says $60. I don't know why it says $60. Mine says free. Well, mine was free. I wonder if I can drop it and see it says free. I wonder it's because I already have the free version. Now they want to sell me this version. Let's take a look at the screenshot, see if they're the same. They usually are. So now they're trying to sell the same free indicator. That doesn't like ugly. Doesn't usually work out. That's so silly. Yep, it's the same thing, guys. I love that. Gotcha. I can try to drop this in the group, see if you guys can get it from there. Are your guys' coming up free for those who grabbed it from the marketplace, just out of curiosity? Dorian, yours says 60. Looked at it yesterday, it was 30. See, now this is marketing at its finest, you guys. This is sales. This is why I don't do sales anymore, because it's just, I mean, I want to help support Pat. I do have a couple other groups that I'm mildly involved in, because I work with people I believe in. But in general, like marketing, Barbara, when did you download yours?
The other night when you first introduced it to us.
Let's try this. I already got it and it's showing as 60. So Catherine has it already. Mine was free for the first time. Let's see, open data folder. It says 60. See, now this is like, that's some stuff right there. That's marketing at its finest, I'm telling you. It's some tricky stuff. Don't like it. It's this one, right? So let's copy it. Okay. I'm gonna minimize this. Who wants to be my guinea pig and see if this works? Anybody at all? The 50 is no joke. Sold out on the 4-hour US oil. Oh, come on, silly butt. Hold on. Let me put this in We the People. Who wants to see if this download will work if I drop it in this group? Anybody at all want to try for me?
I'm in the Telegram. I could check.
Cool. That's the first paste in here, and I've got to copy it from here. Because when I get something from my VPS, I have to like paste it to a file, to paste it to a file, to paste it in the group. Copy. James said that 50 EMA is no joke. There we go. Boom. See if this will download. You didn't have the version already, did you, by chance?
Huh?
You didn't have it already, did you?
No.
Okay. Well, let's see if it works for you. I was looking at US oil earlier. Again, I just kind of, I don't like what it does.
Okay.
Now you have officially 2 4-hour dots, so not one closed, but it bounced right off the 50. That's perfect. That looks good. This looks like it's turned around. Tell me if you can get that to load, and then the group will know if you can get it to load.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it on the chart right now. Nope. I double clicked and I tried to drop it, so it's not coming up.
We'll give it a second because it's, you put it in the
I'm gonna refresh the navigator.
yeah. Take a look at AJ. AJ, I held this trade, so I entered this trade probably later than you guys did, but I held it because it's still in the same direction. For AJ, but honestly, Australia got super strong. John Trent said you might want to try putting it in the market folder, which was my next piece of advice.
I put it in the market folder.
I'm going to try it first in the indicator.
In the indicator folder?
Well, you've already got it in the marketplace now, so let's keep it there. Like, so sometimes if you take an indicator somebody gives you and you put it in the indicator folder, it will let you kind of have that but sometimes you have to put it in the marketplace and then it makes you re-download it anyways, but it might give you the option to like reset the MQL5, which will now make it free. It's kind of really tricky, and I definitely don't know the actual solution to that. I definitely don't. So this right here, I'm on the 1 hour chart. I mean, this gapped up, impulse moved down, broke the 50. I think we talked about it last night on the call. Some people closed out in profit during the call. Some people held it, and let's see, when they were up like 10 or 20 pips, they said. So give or take, came in our favor more, but then of course it turned around. So now, like, what would I do? I'm still looking for this to sell inevitably, but I mean, we can't say we know for sure what the market's going to do. This did break above the 50 on the 1 hour chart, so let's take a look what the 4 hour chart is doing. I like how it's in line with the 4 hour chart. I like the doji. I don't like this bullish candle right here. I don't like that at all, because it came back and retested it. But in general, I still see a sell. And this is still above the 50, so this is above the 50. But again, I believe what we did was we drew this line last night. We saw 1, 2 run it through. We broke, and now it's playing around. But this also kind of is looking like a head and shoulders, maybe. So, I mean, again, there's so many ways to analyze the market that it's not even funny. So it's anyone's guess, because if we put the stop loss right here, the stop loss would have been hit. Because this is where we would have put the stop loss last night. So, did anybody get that currency meter to work? Just out of curiosity before we jump off. In the marketplace or in the indicator folder, anybody at all? For anybody who grabbed it?
It wouldn't work for me.
Who's this?
This is Derek.
It did not, or it did?
No, I put it in the indicator folder and I double click on it. I try to drag it and nothing happens at all. I even grabbed it and copied it directly into the indicator through MetaTrader 4. And then when I double click on the indicator area, indicators folder, nothing happens.
Okay, I just deleted it and then I downloaded it again and put it into the market folder, and it doesn't come up anymore. So this is, like you said, it's marketing.
That's silly. Okay, well, I've got another one. Here, try this one. My other favorite is absolute currency strength. I can show you how this one works too. This is the one I used for the longest time. So when I got my first 4 months of data from the triple arrows, again, I was like a lot of you guys, I was kind of frustrated because I was, impatient, and all I could think of was, gosh, these were paint. That makes me so upset, right? So I'd be so upset it were painted. Needless to say, I stopped looking at all the electronics. I wrote down a handwritten note every single week of the pairs I was looking at, how many time frames they were in line, what confirmations I had, and if I took the trade. So it'd be like my watch list for the week. Most weeks I found 10 to 14, 15 trades. So with that alone, I had a certain amount of accuracy. I used this specific one to increase the accuracy. If you guys can grab this, and we'll go ahead and drag it on the chart so I can show you how to use it real quick. Pretty sure I still have it in this broker, but let's find out together. And either way, you guys, there's apps, there's free apps, there's all kinds of stuff. Absolute currency strength for MT4. So the hard part is you kind of have to make it to where it's a little harder to program. Yeah, that's what I did not like at all. Not fun. But I'm going to show you the messy version. This is the legit version I use, so you're going to learn right along with me. Kind of ugly, right? You see how ugly this is?
Yeah.
This is what I honestly use. So this is what brought me into this first time I hit 91% accuracy was when I started using this. So for right now, I'm going to make the chart almost nothing. So what I did was I always had one chart open that only had this on it. So like the chart was pretty small in general, and this was huge. That's so I could see it, obviously, because there's a lot of noise, and you have to know which pair is which. So it's a little harder to use, but I was willing to do it. So if you want to become a successful trader, maybe you should be too. But I will go through teaching you this because I showed you guys a cool tool that you guys cannot get if you didn't get it right then. The people who did get it right then, good job, because now you've got it and nobody else can get it. That may be my problem because I suck at the flip-flop. What might be your problem, Sticks? Okay, so while he's deciding if he wants to tell me what it is, so we happen to be on AJ, right? We're on the 4-hour chart, and let's say I wrote this down on my watch list at the beginning of the week, and let's just say I saw it somewhere in here. Again, I don't know what I saw, but we're just kind of going off of, in theory. So what I would do is I would open up this chart, okay? I would need all my confirmations line up. I put this on my watch list. But what I noticed is when it wasn't ready or could potentially turn around, that currency strength meter was telling me every single time. So I only counted it on the 1 hour. So actually I got this from a buddy of mine. We only counted it on the 1 hour. My instinct was to try to trust it on the 15-minute chart, and it just got me in trouble, to be very transparent, because it's inconsistent. So you'll notice that whatever chart you have open, those two lines on this are thicker. So right now, CAD, CHF are really thick lines. Unfortunately, you can't see that right now, but that's okay. So this one is Australian. You see how when I drag my mouse over it, it'll say Australian. And this one is JPY, which kind of follows suit because the green dollar, GBP is red. And if you know about like the nicknames for the pairs, you would understand this. But either way, what we figured out was sometimes we would get a signal for something like right here when it was really choppy, or here, like right here, which is probably around the same candle. Go figure. So let's just draw the candle. Let's go back to see what time this. So this was 6:21 at 4 o'clock. This is 6:1 on the right time frame. So we need 6:21 at 4 o'clock. Bear with me, guys, because it's not letting me do what I'm supposed to do. Oh, I just dragged a different chart on here. I'm sorry. Okay, let it kind of catch up. But what we noticed using this specific currency strength indicator, again, it's not as user-friendly to use, but I will go through teaching you this because I showed you a cool tool that now I can't give you or give you access to, so I will show you the manual way. And this is the honest way that I used to kind of weed out bad trades. So, of course, I was taking most of my entries on the 1 hour chart in the same direction as the 4 hour. I wasn't looking at any other time frames at all. So we're looking for the 621 4-hour candle, give or take. Oh, that's why it's not letting me. Delete. Try this one more time. There we go, 621 4-hour candle. I was like, why isn't this working? I forgot how big my oscillators were. So you'll notice that that whole time where odd JPY was just kind of really choppy, this was telling you what was choppy. Okay, so we didn't have any kind of clear momentum. Of course, we had a crossover where the odd was stronger than the JPY. So when you drag your mouse over this, you'll kind of see that. So you'll definitely see this, in play, but you'll avoid taking the move at all of this time until you actually get the breakout, until you actually get the wide. We want the odd well above the 50 or the 0 line in this case, and you want the JPY was, below. If you're looking for you're looking for the buy. So you're staying out of it, no matter what the triple R's are telling you, until you get this signal, where the odd is now officially stronger than the JPY. This is officially above the 0. This is below the 0. You have a clean, super clean crossover. Let's take a look at what candle that would have been, give or take in here. Again, assuming you didn't see it till here, because you were waiting for it to really break the 0 line. So this is 624 at 2 o'clock. Let's go to that same on this chart, 624, 8, 2. So you would have caught the actual move up. That was the whole concept, was avoiding, and this is again the 4-hour chart, but the whole concept of using the currency strength indicator was it was the only thing that was kind of stopping me from taking the weak signals. The signals where the currency was just too strong to trust it. So that really helped me. It bumped my accuracy up quite a bit. No, that is not the better one, because as you can see, it's not nearly as user-friendly. You have to actually drag your mouse over the currency to see what it's doing. But it is really nice because it will tell you right now, odd is kind of facing down, JPY is kind of facing up. So we're hoping for this to kind of turn around. But we have a clean crossover, and that's what you're looking for, is clean crossovers. Clean crossovers, preferably above or below the 0 line in this case. So when you come to this kind of thing and you're looking at it, you can see that GBP has been really, really weak. But now we're kind of crossing over. So if I were to have been using this, which I don't anymore, GBP crossed over JPY. Now I'd be looking to buy GBP JPY. It crossed over GBP Chef, so I'd be looking to see if that's setting up yet. I wouldn't take it necessarily on the crossover alone, because again, I want the volume above the 0 or below the 0 in general. But this tells me to go look at that chart, because now we know for sure that this red line, which is GBP, is stronger than the JPY. We know that the red line, which is GBP, is stronger than CHF. So we know that the US dollar is kind of going at the same spot as GBP. That's why it's not going anywhere. And this is euro. Let's see, this is which one? That's Canada. So Canada is still much stronger. NZD and odd. So that's kind of how I would be using this system. Definitely harder to use, as you guys can see, but I'm sorry you can't get access to the free one because they're playing some games and marketing it all funky. Keep an eye out because they might make it free again for a small period of time. Who knows? Is there a difference between currency relative strength and absolute currency strength? So just so you guys have that for Confluence, again, you'll notice that the ADX lines up quite often with the crossover of the currency strength, not exact, definitely not exact, but that's one of the reasons why I brought the ADX back, was because I can access the ADX on my phone. But here, I'll show you this too. Delete that. So we have one currency strength meter up. Wrong window. So let me drop in the other one just to show you the difference. Okay. Obviously, I love how this is right here. That works out really well. But you'll notice that, I mean, they're not the exact same. They're definitely not the exact same, but they're pretty comparable. So this one shows spikes much more clearly. So this has I don't know how to explain that accurately, but this one has, it definitely has peaks, but not nearly as spiky. So you see how spiky this is? This dropped faster. Well, this one dropped faster. This one kind of staggered a little bit. So this one probably follows price a little bit more closely, more accurately, whereas this one gives you a more direct signal of what's going on with that pair. But in general, across the board, they're pretty comparable. Again, this one trades a little differently, so we're trading based off of the 40 and the 60. So if the 50 was the 0 line according to this, you'll notice there's still a big window of emptiness here, window of emptiness here. But you will notice that on this pair, odd is stronger. This is odd. The next one is NZD, same. NZD, same. Canada, same. Canada, same. But you see how this is coming close to crossover. So, and then when you get to the weaker pairs, I mean, they're pretty comparable in general. That's the euro. This is your euro. So they're kind of doing the same thing. They're just doing it at a slightly different speed. GBP kind of pointing up. US dollars right underneath it. The yellow on this is your CHF, which kind of follows suit with your CHF. So the colors are really throwing you off, but in general, they move pretty comparably, yeah. So this is a free version, at least you can get. This is the actual version that I used for the longest amount of time. I just like how on this one, I can actually change the settings. Hey, sweetheart. I can go in here and I can change this to where it only shows the current pair, which makes it really easy to read. That's what I like about this one. I like how it's overwritten over here. It tells me the value and the level of the value. You can see that nothing's super high or super low. So I'm sorry for those of you who didn't grab it as soon as I said it, but that's just marketing and people for you, but I can't do anything about that. This one is comparable, definitely hard on the eyes. So what we did, me and my trading buddy, was we literally made this super big, and we learned that whatever pair we drag on here, that's going to be the thickest line, so that really helped us a lot. So if I drag the Euro JPY, you'll notice that it's the thicker lines. So it makes it a little bit more readable, but this is what gave me that extra, like, I think it gave me a total of, I don't know, I don't want to misquote. I want to say it was 11%, but this bumped up my accuracy enough to truly compound. Because again, when it wasn't ready, let's say I got triple arrows right back here, not only did my account, here's how I was thinking about it, was so my account would be bogged down for essentially, 24, 12 hours, where I can't take another trade, but price isn't moving, right? So this is eating up 30% of my margin, 40% of my margin, and officially I'm not growing right now. I'm not gaining in strength, I'm not gaining in money, nothing's happening. But the cool thing about using this in conjunction with the triple arrow system was I would not have been looking for a buy until we got the crossover for the Euro JPY. And again, maybe some momentum above the 50 or the 0. We didn't count that as law. I think we even created two little smaller lines around here at a 0.001 to give us an idea. And then my buddy did a 0.002 to give us different levels so we could see it more clearly. But either way, it kept me out of this. So I didn't take the buy until it was ready. Even if the triple arrows happened, it saved me 24 hours or 48 hours and a bunch of drawdown. Or in the case in which it was going to reverse, it saved me that. That's what this currency strength indicator did. Sorry, you can't get the other one that's more easily read, but this is a good backup if you're interested. But you might want to get it now before they make it not free. Just joking, but I'm kind of not. So. All right, guys, are there any other questions, comments, or charts? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. I hear firecrackers and munchkins outside. Austin, I answered your question to kind of show you. They work pretty comparably. You can't see it because the colors are different on each one, but they are pretty comparable, like comparable enough. So, needing a currency strength meter, your eyes don't see the ADX well. Yeah, the ADX kind of is almost the exact concept as the currency strength indicator, because when it crosses each other, the bears and bulls are basically switching positions. And in that case, you have momentum. So, I mean, if you can't see that in terms of your eyes, I don't know if that big messy mess I just showed you is going to work at all, because that is a mess. Let's see. Don, we already talked about AJ, and that's about all I've got. Any other questions or comments? All right, guys. Well, then I wish you guys an amazing happy 4th of July. Thank you for jumping on and learning a little bit. I hope it's been helpful, and I will talk to you guys here soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank
you
you,
too.
Jenny, so much.
Thank you, Jenny.
Love these classes.
Happy 4th.
Guys, happy 4th of July. Go out and have some fun.
I have fun studying.
Take a break, too, for your eyes. Good night, guys.
Night.